this website is good, but it's missing something. That's what we'll find out together, because without it, then chances are you're not really getting that traffic that you actually deserve. Hey, I'm Dan. I review websites in order to find out the good and the bad and the ugly to make sure that you can get some actionable insights on what to do for your website to actually get the website working for you, basically by bringing you more bookings, right? Okay, what's missing here is actually hidden. I mean, in a way, you can really visually see it from first look, but I have this free tool. It's not mine. I'm not even affiliated with it. But if you search for Google detailed Chrome extension or Firefox extension, then you can also get this to check your own website, right? So the main thing that's been missing here is actually the H1. Now you might be wondering, why would that even matter? Well, it matters a lot. But let's go over the checklist that I have actually. So we're going to talk about the traffic portion of a website today because, for instance, if you have a website, a really good website, high converting, great copy and all that stuff, perfect visuals, but if people can't really find your website, then what's the point? It's like having a lot of brochures that's really, really good, but you're just keeping it in a drawer and not really giving it out. Like, what's the point, right? So, first and foremost, that should show up with branded search and the city. Let's do CJ Plumbing, Red Deer, Plumbing and Heating. That's like their branded keyword. Okay, it's showing up with an ad. This as well, and it also shows their Google Business Profile, so that's good. If you do check this yourself for your own website or for your own business and it's not showing up, yeah, you gotta do a lot of local SEO. Okay, so let's check these. So that's good. So title tags, clear keyword based under 60 characters. So I'm gonna use the free tool that I mentioned before. So this is the title that it's being mentioned. So this is the meta title. Basically, this is what shows up on Google when you search for them. So for instance, it says CJ Plumbing and Heating. Oops. Where is it? CJ Plumbing and Heating. And then it also says here. That's different. No way. Did Google change their algorithm again? Because usually this is supposed to be the meta title. And this is the meta description. But sometimes it does change from time to time. I think there's something new with Google again. But anyway. Yeah. Anyway, as long as you're using your main service and the city that you're serving in, then that is good. So that's like one of the major ranking factors of Google. Major ranking factor. Meta description, yes, I also did. For the meta description, you also need your same rule applies. You need your main service or your main keyword, and then the city that you're in. And then also, it's not just about having those keywords there. It's also important that it has like a copywriting aspect to it, and wherein the copy or this messaging should encourage the visitor or the users, sorry, your clients when they're searching on Google to actually click your business. Okay, but that's good here. H1 and headings. So this is what they were missing earlier that I mentioned earlier, H1. Now, the reason why it matters a lot, even though it's just one thing, is it's also a really, really important ranking factor for Google, which applies to both the website and your Google Business Profile. So for instance, if I actually search for plumbing and heating in Red Deer, that's wrong spelling, plumbing, heating, Red Deer. So if I were to search that, then it will be hard for you to actually rank high if those are not even working, if those are not even properly optimized. So here they're showing third instead of the first, instead of being in the first page. And then they're also not in the top 3 for local SEO. They're 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. More than 10. You know, we can actually, yeah. There's actually an app that I can use to test that. Because there's also like other factors for ranking your Google Business Profile. But this is also one of those important things, having that H1 on your landing page or your homepage here. So yeah, you should have an H1. So H1 should say something like plumbing and heating in red here. So it's keyword rich. And so it will be easy for Google to understand what your website really is about or what your business is really all about. So make sure to add that H1. You might be wondering how might one go about that. It depends on what you're doing. So let's try doing that with the main one. This is Squarespace. So for Squarespace, if you're using Squarespace for your website, just click on the text itself, then click on this pencil, which is the edit, and then you can change that to H2 or H1. So something like that, but it has to be H1, right? Similar thing for Wix. Oops, not that one. For Wix, so it says here, title here. So once I get to that element, I can say edit text. Oh, not edit text, sorry. It should be here on the right hand side. There says heading 1 or heading 2. Heading 2. Is there anything else here I'm missing? Yeah. So those should be easy. You don't have to be a developer for that. And then for if you're using WordPress, you click on the text as well. And then there should be like the H1 text or an H2, then you can change that to H1 or H2 or even H3, right? So yeah, just make sure that it's properly structured. So there should only be one H1 because it will be like the title of the book. So you can't really have multiple titles of a book, right? So that's just one H1 and basically structured like an outline on how books are outlined. Is that really the best analogy for that? But yeah, just one H1 and make sure to use your main keyword and the city that you're in. Unfortunately for that didn't really get checked. Keyword clarity, it's obvious what each page is, what's it about. Plumbing, honestly, yeah, plumbing. Did you mention here? Okay, good. Yeah, I would say so. There's no main keywords here that's showing up, but Google should be smart enough to understand what these pages are all about. Okay, that's good. URL is short, clean, and readable. What that means is this, the URL, because it should also be like readable. Readable, not just not question mark p under p equals some sort of random number. Basically, it should be as Google friendly, so they can't really easily understand numbers compared to text, same as humans, right? So this one, they check that off, so that's good. Alt text. Alt texts are also slightly a bit technical, so let's see if they're doing that. Oh, they're not doing that. So for alt texts are basically a way for you to describe the image itself to Google, which means it's a ranking factor because Google can't really understand an image unless you define or explain what it is by giving it context, which in this case is the alt text. And then another reason why you should not add an alt text is for accessibility. So people who can't really see, they might be using some sort of, what do you call that, screen reader, I think. And the screen reader will basically tell what the image is about, so they can just imagine it in their head if that's how it is, right? So yeah, luckily it's also easy to add an alt text to all your images. So let's go back to Squarespace. So if you're using Squarespace, just click on the image that you want to add alt text in. Click on the pencil icon again, and if you scroll down here it says image alt text, and it describes what the image is about. Next is the Wix. Should close that. Let's use this. So just click on this element. Then I'm assuming it's also on the right hand side. It's not on the right hand side. Gear icon then. Okay, so click on the gear icon and then what's in the image. I'm assuming this is their alt text. Yeah, here. Improve your size SEO and accessibility. Same goes for WordPress. Just click on the element, which is the image, And then on the right hand side, you should see the alternative text, which alt text stands for. So you can add those alt text there, right? Okay, that's good. But they're not doing that. HTTPS, it's a bit technical. Like, I can't really teach you how to do that, but if you're using a website platform like Wix, Squarespace, or whatever, most of them already offer that HTTPS or SSL certificate, so you don't really have to worry too much about that, because usually it is. But if it's not, then chances are people can't really go into your website, because their own browser will block your website actually if it's not HTTPS. Okay, next is load time. Let's see. What was the page? Now, you might be wondering, why does it matter to have a fast load time here? Ooh, it doesn't pass. There's actually been a study, I think, done by Google before, where if your page loads for more than 3 seconds, then your potential customers or clients are actually more likely to bounce back. By bounce back, meaning going back to Google and choosing your competitors. And we don't really want that, right? So you need to make sure that your website loads fast, right? So you can go to PageSpeed Insights, which is also a free tool you can use. Not affiliated, it's Google. It's made by Google. I will also link these tools in the description below. So if you want to test your own website, feel free to do so. And I actually recommend doing that. And then mobile experience, whilst waiting for that report, let's see if it's mobile friendly. That's good. It's mobile friendly, because basically the design itself should also be easy to use when you're on your phone. You don't have to like zoom in or whatnot just to read texts. And they're doing that, so that's good. And it's also a ranking factor. If your website is not mobile friendly, then Google might not even rank you. So how can you get that traffic, mobile traffic, right? Reviews. Reviews, the reason why it's also important to have reviews, but this is more on the Google business side of things, it's because it's also another critical ranking factor for Google. So if you don't have any reviews, then it's really, really difficult to actually rank high on Google for your Google business profile, especially considering that if you're high on the ranking on Google, then the more traffic that you actually get to your business, digital business, I guess in this case, digital traffic to your business, meaning you don't really have that much potential customers to sell to, right? So you need to ask for reviews from your customers. Let's see if it loaded. No, it's still not loading. It's happening. Okay. Magic of copy of editing. Let's go. Oh, there it is. I had to reload it for some reason. 63. Oh, it takes about 4 seconds. 5 seconds to load. Almost 6 seconds to load, actually. That is not good. Meaning, people with a bit of a slow internet connection, which is quite rare, but if you're using data and you're not in a good spot, that's actually odd. Like here in the city, there are like dead spots for the internet for some reason. In Capstone, it's really slow there for some reason. So anyway, if you're, for example, if your customer is in that dead area, like with slow internet connection, if your website doesn't load fast, then they're already back to Google search results and choosing your competitors instead. Unfortunately, this is a bit difficult to actually fix, and it would require a really in-depth video on how to get your website to load fast. If you want that, make sure to comment below so I can make some detailed tutorial for you. Of course, that's just one. Traffic is just one factor to consider, because once you have all of that done, like you're getting a lot of traffic, that's good. Make sure that your next step is to fix the trust factors in your website. I have that video too. You can watch it here.